ladies, and welcome to my review for Midnight Special. It's written and directed by Jeff Nichols, and it stars Michael Shannon, Joel Edgerton, Kristen Dunst, Jaden Lieberher, Adam Driver, among others. This movie is about a father and a son who are on the run from a cult and from the government. And why are they running from them? Because both the government and this faithful cult are interested in the boy's special powers. The cult believes this child to be their savior, while the government believes this child to be a weapon. And what is this child truly? Well, you will find out if you watch the movie. As always, no spoilers in this review, and I was really looking forward to watch this movie. I heard many great things about it ever since it premiered at Sundance from many reviewers in YouTube and in other outlets. The trailers looked amazing, it's got a great cast, a great storyteller writing and directing this movie, and I never did enjoy all of his movies fully. I really enjoyed Mud, but that's about it. However, this movie, I really enjoyed it. First, let's talk about what is essential to this movie and what Jeff Nichols gets right above all else, and that is the father-son relationship. Both the child and the father, you see both their sides dealing with this drama of them being pursued by two opposing fronts, two sides of a belief chasing them down. And you see this father trying to handle this situation where his son was taken away from him and now he just wants to get him back, but not to keep him away from those people, because those people were not necessarily treating him wrong, but he wants to do right by his son, and his son tells him he needs to go to this specific location in this specific time. And so Michael Shannon, as the father of this child, must take him there because he believes this child more than anything else. And throughout this movie, you see several things that show you why this man believes this child and why the people who interact with them and come along on their journey believe him as well. I really like the bond these two have in this movie. You really believe they are father and son. And Joel Edgerton, who joins them in this journey, you see why he believes this child as well. You see his bond with Michael Shannon, and at first he will come into the story a little abruptly. You won't see really any reason for him to be there, but he will come as the movie goes along. And that's one other very good aspect of this movie, the storytelling. Every shot is used to tell you a story, and every conversation, every piece of dialogue is used to further this story along. Every scene of exposition and setup is used brilliantly in this movie. You don't waste any time. Look, you need to find out this, you find out in a simple phrasing by someone, in a simple sentence. There's no time to waste. This movie keeps going and going. It suffers nothing in pacing terms. I gotta hand it to Joel Lieberher, who had a phenomenal performance. This child doesn't really know what to do with this power, and you as an audience member are kept in this story wanting to find out more, because this child doesn't tell you everything you need to know. This movie doesn't spoon feed you everything you need to know. This movie keeps you engaged, and it keeps you into the story, and you are as much into the story as any other character in this movie. You know as much as they do, and you find out things exactly at the moment they do. That's what makes these characters great and the story great. Let's talk about Adam Driver. I found it really funny that one of the first things he says in this movie, don't worry, it's not a spoiler, is the words Red Saber. Really funny, even though he started filming this movie the day he got the role in Star Wars, so I don't know how that connects. He had a really good role in this movie. He's a guy who works for the NSA, and he becomes the specialist investigating this child's case, and you're really engaged in the story, although I think we should have seen a little more of his side, because there's something that happens nearing the third act of this movie that feels a little abrupt. It feels like Jeff Nichols forgot to use this turn before and had to shoehorn it in when he did in this movie, and if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Jeff Nichols really understands these characters he's dealing with, the characters he created for the story. Besides the superpowers this kid has and any other sci-fi aspect to this movie, you really get that this movie's main focus is the family aspect and the drama of this child having these powers that he himself does not understand. And the movie does a really good job at posing some questions to you in regards to every single side. You have the side of the government. What would you do if you find out a child has these powers and you really don't understand them? What would you do as a member of the government? What would you do as a member of this faith? Would you consider this child the new Jesus? And don't worry, that's not the twist. He's not new Jesus. But would you believe that? As a member of a cult, as a member of a certain faith, would you believe that this child was your savior? And as a father, what would you do? As you watch this movie poses really great questions as far as what being a father truly is, making decisions that will benefit or harm your son. There are certain aspects of this movie that really threw me off. That is, again, Adam Driver not being as used as much because his character was really interesting, and there's a relationship he develops with this child that you really urge to see more of. Also, Joel Edgerton. By the end of this movie, you feel like his character is of no consequence, and he was more of a plot point to force our own, as an audience member, belief in this child. There's also a certain aspect in the third act of this movie that I think will throw a lot of people off, because in my opinion Jeff Nichols played it safe as far as he concluded this movie. There's really many interpretations that you could have of the finale of this movie, but to me it felt like he didn't go all the way as he wanted to, so it would please more audiences than probably the ending he had first envisioned. But still, this is a great movie. It's got the cool sci-fi superpower aspect to it, but above that, as I said, a family drama, a mystery thriller, and you really are engaged in the story and in these characters, besides all its flaws. I totally recommend for you to see this movie. I totally recommend for you to see this movie if you get the chance. Please do. Give these independent movies more opportunities, because this movie was made for $18 million only. $18 million, and you watch what happens in the third act and you're mesmerized how they pull that off with $18 million. And despite all those flaws and those little gripes that did bother me and will probably bother some of you watching this movie, I will give Midnight Special an amazeballs rating. What did you think of Midnight Special? Have you seen it? Do you want to see it? I hope you do see it if you get the chance. Give these movies more opportunities. Independent movies are worth watching, are worth your money. And once again, thank you guys so much for allowing me to reach 150 subscribers. We are 153 strong at the point of the recording of this review. This is 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. Tomorrow I'll absolutely give you my Blu-ray collection on a video, and we will also have a trailer for Moana, so expect that video as well. As always, there are links to my Facebook and my Instagram in the description below. Go stalk me on the internet, and if you haven't yet, click the little subscribe button below the video box so you can get updated whenever I upload a video and join our beautiful geeky community. And as always, there's a link to my previous video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Once again, give an opportunity to Midnight Special. I urge you to do so. Right here is a link to my previous video, which is my Conjuring 2 movie review. As always, no spoilers there. Again, if you haven't yet, click the little subscribe button below the video box and start leaving your questions for my hashtag Legend of Tarzan Q&A and ask me questions about anything you want. Join the geeky community, give a like to this video, and share with your friends so they can join in as well. And of course, I will see you guys in my Moana trailer review, my Blu-ray collection, my Game of Thrones episode review, and all the movie reviews I have coming for you this week. Cheers!